Hey everybody, it's Brady, and we're chewing the fat with Brady today. And today is a special episode because we're at the Wildlife World Zoo, and we're here with the lovely and talented Kristy Morcom, the media director and social. She's like Julie from The Love Boat. A lot of you millennials won't get that. Look it up, check it out. But we're in the gift shop right now, and if you come out here, you definitely want to come away with some kind of giant rhinoceros or a tiger. They have every plush animal possible. It's like the Noah's Ark of plush in here. It is. Some great little tidbits.
We got stuffed unicorns, because you know we have the unicorns on exhibit.
So what are we going to do today?
Okay,
we've made a little strategy here. So
we're going to make today really special.
All right.
We're going to do a lot of what the general public can't see or do. So it's going to be worth tuning in, because we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm thinking we'll go see the sea lions. We will go have a little otter encounter, feed the rhinos. We're going to extract venom from a king cobra. Well, I will actually work my way around the cobra and then get the venom out of there. And we'll do little cobra shots of venom to see who drops first. Love it. Okay, let's go. Let's go do this. We are going to go meet an adorable little otter. He is part of our education department. We were asked the question, if I could be any animal, like what would you want to be? And mine was the giant river otter, Amazon, because they're 7 feet in length. They have no predators. They're the king of the waters there. The gators don't mess with them. They eat piranha, and they're huge. 7-footers. Cool. What a cool answer. They're Asian small-clawed otters. They get really excited. Half the time they beat her out here. Running out right now. Look at him. Is that not the cutest? Oh my gosh. I know. I had a ferret finster for we had ferret finster for 4 or 5 years when I was younger. And the run is just amazing. And these guys, they run just like the ferrets. They're part of the same family. They're related to ferrets, weasels, and skunks. Look at him turn. Right? So cool. Wow. His name is? Dale. This is Dale? This is Dale. Hello, Dale. And if you stand on this side here, you hold your hand up, he will give you a high five. Oh, nice, Dale. Atta boy. He's a treat machine. Get a high five, Curb. Any type of food, I'm so excited. They're so friendly too, so they really like coming out. They are. He's like, oh, there we go. If I give a high five. And what are you feeding Dale? I'm giving him pieces of lake smelt and shrimp. You like that lake smelt? Some of his favorite treats. These guys eat a lot of crustaceans too. They actually have molars in the back of their mouths that will allow them to crack these shells. They eat a lot of crawfish. So, living in Milwaukee, they used to do an annual smelt because they're tiny fish, and they'd come out, and we did a radio contest one time. The largest smelt we would mount. And it was about a 4.5 incher, and we had it taxidermed, and the guy came in and picked up his plaque. That's awesome. So that's the only smelt, the first time I've ever heard of them before. Yeah, they're pretty small, and then we chop them into pieces. Yeah. So. What kind of volume can Dale eat? They eat a lot throughout the day. We typically will give them about 25 to 30 smelt a day, plus 3 shrimp, a clam or a mussel, whatever we have, and they each get a half a cup of this special kibble that we have for them too. I see Dale's kind of hanging braining back there. He's very relaxed. Yeah. That's impressive. Man, the good old days. That's why I mentioned it, just in case you don't want to scare the children. Some of our animals here can be a little inappropriate. Yeah, that's good. No, you call it inappropriate. I call it just being real. Yeah, Dale is. And then Dale has how many friends? He has one best friend. He actually lives with his half-brother Finn. Otters are super social, so we try our best not to house them alone. And they love each other. They snuggle. They're good brothers. And so are the otters here? Have they been in captivity, or were they rotated around? All of our otters at the zoo were from other zoological facilities.
facilities.
Gotcha.
We do a lot of breeding here. Dale was actually born here at the zoo.
Okay.
He spent his entire life here. Finn as well, his half-brother, they were both born here.
And how long do otters live?
Out in the wild, they typically will live for about 15 years. Under human care, they live a lot longer, so 20 is a pretty good average for...
Because of predatory, and they're more protected.
No predators, access to vet care, and of course, all the food they could ever desire.
He's high-fiving and kissing the hand at the same time.
I think you need a kiss. I think you...
Cheek down.
Yep, you should go and put your cheek down.
Give him a smooch. Good boy.
Oh, that was nice. One more, Dale.
Would you like a kiss? I think you need to get a kiss. No?
Put your cheek up there, Curb.
When else are you ever gonna get an otter kiss?
All right.
Sweet little fishy kiss.
Fishy kiss.
You said he'd do high five and kiss?
Yep.
Okay.
2 high fives and a kiss.
Oh, double whammy. Did you see that, Curb? You got to get some of that. All right. Dale, thank you. Lauren, this was awesome. Anything else? This never gets old, does it?
Oh, it never gets old. It's so fun. And what's great is people can come out and see Dale when they come to one of our wildlife encounter shows. And oftentimes Lauren and her team will call someone lucky from the audience to come up and give Dale a high five.
I did notice the fishiness to the kiss. And Smelt will do that. That's the first time I've smelt breath. Oh, that's awesome, the leg kick. Appropriate, because right now the wild card football games are going on. So,
oh my God.
4th down, we got to punt the otter.
Punt the otter.
Well, we make the lame joke. These guys are really social out in the wild, so we say they're very attached to their trainers.
Yes.
They're also monogamous, so they find their significant otter and stay together for the rest of their lives.
Isn't that so wild about the monogamous thing? Like, there's only a handful of animals, because we have a heated discussion on the radio with John, and a lot of people that believe that, that will say humans aren't naturally monogamous. But it's wild, because I don't know. I think there's some that are. I think we're kind of both, but we are brought up to be monogamous, but there's animals in the world that are monogamous. So why wouldn't be? It's interesting when you get into the deep philosophical part of that.
Right.
Like hummingbirds always seem to pair up. We have a little nest on our Christmas tree with a lighting on a patio, and the same couple comes back every spring. We've had 3 litters. Aww. I don't know what you call the term in hummingbirds. It's like, well, they've nested 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Well, if you want to go deeper, so take the swan.
Yep.
That's one of those animals that's kind of iconic and known for being monogamous, and people think about. Well, they actually have about a 7% divorce rate.
Wow.
And sometimes same-sex couples will couple up, and the male swans have been known to pair up and take eggs from other nests.
They get, nice.
And
they lift the eggs. And so then but they still establish, because I'm not sure, do swans trade off? Or is the one mate incubate the eggs the whole time?
So they trade off.
Like most birds?
Yep, both the male and female will build the nest, rear the young. So yeah, sometimes the males, they'll start their own thing, take an egg from another couple, move it over to their nest, hatch it, and then they have a baby, and they're great parents.
I had heard that on a couple, I've never heard the same sex thing, but I know there's been birds that either the mate went down, and every once in a while someone will take the egg on or co-parent, pick it up later. But I know in a lot of birds, like that hummingbird, the sad thing about it, sometimes if the one gets bigger than the other other can get pushed out of the nest. And we notice that with bald eagles and other.
Oh, it's so common, especially among birds. Yeah.
That's where the strongest, the fittest survives, right?
Survival of the fittest.
Yep.
And sometimes eggs will be laid at different times. And that can happen with penguins, which is great because they're an endangered species, but we have a wonderful breeding program for them. And we can combat that, where in the wild they'd lay one egg, then a day later another egg, and sometimes you have that problem and only one chick survives. Under human care, we make sure that they both survive.
We populate them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We also have a couple over there, Ellen and Portia, 2 female penguins.
I wonder where you got those names from.
Yeah. So it happens with penguins too.
Maybe we'll get a prize from them if we get to meet them, like that. From Ellen, at least.
Right?
See, kids, it looks friendly, but you don't want this at home.
You don't, no. These guys are very much wild.
I know. You think it's mittens for a minute? He could do some damage. Or she, I'm not sure.
Oh, they're so strong. It's really incredible. And they actually have the largest canines of any cat. They don't get that large, but their canines are the size of a tiger's canine.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Adult ones? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is called a...
Clouded leopard.
Okay.
Very rare. They're losing habitat, getting poached for their fur. Unfortunately, their numbers are on the decline. And it's one of those cats you don't see even in a lot of zoo facilities.
And the tail on leopards, like on this particular one, is that for balance?
It
because
is.
It's so thick and, yeah.
Yep, and these guys are very arboreal. They have a very long tail considering other cats and the size of their tail, so relative to their body size. And they also have very flexible back ankles.
Oh yeah, he's crafty.
She hears when there's people back there.
Is.
Yeah.
So the handlers, pretty friendly and used to them. So they'll be able to drop food in there, and she is still semi-playful.
She is. So she hasn't been introduced to protective barriers yet, but as an adult, all of our big cats have protective barriers, and it's all protected contact. We don't go in with them as adults, but because they're hand-raised, we're able to establish these incredible relationships with them, and we start training from this age. So as adults, they can participate in their own health care, and we can train really amazing husbandry behaviors with them.
He's amazing. She is amazing.
So cool. Yeah, really incredible.
Moving on to the blue Duikers.
The infamous bush divers.
And this is a couple, yes, they are known for bush diving.
Yes, they are. They're very territorial.
Now, we do not want to take the walls down from the leopard to the blue Duikers.
No.
Although the blue Duikers get away for the most part.
They do. They dive into bushes. That is going to be their first form of defense. They're typically nocturnal, so they're going to be active at nighttime when a lot of the predators are sleeping. They have the large eyes to help them see at nighttime, but if you look closely, they have little slits underneath their eyes, and those are their scent glands. And they'll rub those scents.
That helps pick up the interesting.
Yeah, that's how they'll mark their territory. Males and females will both grow little horns, and they are the only antelope species in the world to eat meat.
Interesting. Like any particular, or is it just
mainly carrion? They're pretty opportunistic.
Like rodent?
Yeah, like dead things that they come across. They'll typically eat. They'll eat.
They get their protein.
Right.
And the horns are mostly spike horns, or do they?
They are. They look like sharp little pencils growing out of their head.
Okay.
And they'll use those horns to defend themselves, and they also have really sharp hooves that they'll kick and defend themselves if something tries to pick them up.
And so, so the difference between the blue Duiker and a dik-dik, is a dik-dik considered a rodent? No.
Nope, they're actually part of the same family. Right. They're just a little bit different in size.
Than dik-diks?
Yeah, they're a little bit smaller.
Okay.
And there's several different species of dik-diks and blue Duikers.
But what are the odds? You have blue Duikers and dik-diks.
I know.
Look, shh, do not wake the kangaroo. He's sleeping. They sleep with their eyes open. You wouldn't know that. Look, see it, Kirby?
Wouldn't that be terrible if on a segment I was like, I have somewhere to go after this. I'm just going to bring a stuffed animal and pretend like it's real.
But the critter is underneath there, isn't he?
So the creature is underneath there. I'll go get it.
A yellow armadillo.
A yellow armadillo.
I just read the sign.
He is really cool. I will leave this with you. And should I set this down?
Here, I'll get it.
You got it? Yeah. You look so fabulous right now.
Okay.
You look
all right. I am fabulous. Kristy's bag. I think oh, there we go. There he is.
Sweet. He's sleeping.
That's Cortez.
Oh, he was a good boy. Yes, he was a good boy. Yes, you are.
Oh, he likes that.
Oh, sweet boy.
What is she?
She can bring Cortez out.
Outside.
There he is.
This
Hello,
is Cortez. There you go. He kind of has sharp claws, but if you have a good grip,
yeah.
isn't he the cutest?
Hi.
So he is a little yellow armadillo. He's a few months old, and these guys are just so incredible. They have special membranes in their nose that help them absorb oxygen in the surrounding soil. They spend most of their time underground, and because they do that, they can be underground and not have to worry about getting soil and dirt up their nose.
Look at that guy, and he definitely has he definitely likes, you can tell. What? Hi, bud.
And he feels a little different right now than you would think because his bony plates aren't that hard.
Yeah.
As he matures and he gets older, these plates are going to harden up and going to protect him a lot like a tortoise's shell would protect them.
They definitely have an odor.
They do.
It's
so
amazing.
He's
Very
really
musty,
stinky. When I travel with him, I have to like roll the windows down. He is one of the stinkiest, like armadillos in general are one of the stinkiest creatures that I travel with.
He kind of smells like you, Kirby, sometimes.
I completely disagree. Isn't that so cool?
Oh, you're a cutie.
And a lot
Look
of
at
armadillos
you.
will curl into a ball to protect themselves. This particular species will actually hunker down and pull their limbs
Like
underneath.
squat down and then wedge, or they.
Sometimes they'll wedge, sometimes they'll just pull everything in and to protect it that way.
Because you can feel the strength.
Oh my gosh,
It's
they're
amazing.
so
There's
strong.
a little torque on there.
Oh, absolutely. And sometimes they'll retreat underground if there are burrows nearby.
Well, thanks for bringing him out.
Yes, you are
What a treat.
so
What do you think of
welcome.
that? Pretty cool? You want to pet one? Can't have it. Stay in school, all right?
Isn't he the cutest?
Oh, he is in heaven.
Oh my God, so sweet.
Look at that.
Yes. All right, I'll go put him away and we'll continue on.
Sounds good.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That is so cool. Oh, I love the bat because you can see your logo. Amazing.
Okay, all right.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Sweet. So,
When we, Brady.
Haley.
Haley.
Nice to meet
My
you.
daughter Kirby.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Isaac.
Hello.
So we went to San Francisco last fall in October, and we stayed down by the wharf, and every morning, probably the highlight of the trip was her going down to see the sea lions
They're
on the
amazing,
docks. They
especially
are. You could
they're
just,
huge. Lots of them.
and it's funny. You'd have a rogue one every now and then that would just lay out on a person's boat on their pad.
Yes, we were just out in
Oh my
Newport
gosh.
Beach, and they have like buckets on the docks to try to deter them, and
Yeah.
they're like sleeping in odd configurations between the buckets so they can stay up there.
No,
Oh,
Kirby, they're
that's
playing
so funny.
leapfrog over there. That's
Yeah, so we have Paris out here is our adult female. That's Andy out there. She's gonna come out. She's another one of our females at 10. And then we have our two boys, Sonny and Junior, who are a year and a half and 2.5. And then our little tiny one right there is Makara. She's only 6 months old. Aww.
and where? So she was born in captivity.
She was born here with us. Yes, her mom is Paris, and then her dad is Crockett, who's in our indoor pool at the moment.
Oh my! Look at that baby.
She's just like her daddy. Total ham.
What are you doing? Hi. I don't have anything for you, else I would. You're cute.
Oh my gosh. So cute. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I'll give you something. I don't have anything, Bub.
Oh my gosh. She just hopped up there. She's so silly.
She's a good nature. So she's 6 months old, so not quite eating fish yet. She'll take a couple of pieces a day from us, but still nursing solely from mom. So she just likes to hang out with people.
Aww. And they've already started training with her.
Now, when you interact with that, do you reach out and they like the affection or no?
So, there we go. Okay. Are very tactile animals. They like to sleep together. So usually what we do with her right now is kind of let her, sit down and let her come, and she'll a lot of the time crawl up on your lap and cuddle with you.
Yeah.
But it's very much mood dependent. She's a toddler, so she sometimes decides she wants to cuddle, and sometimes she's like, no, I'm going to go swim.
But I'm doing I would be doing the proper thing. If I went up there and reached out, you'd probably say, no, don't do that.
We would probably ask you.
Yeah.
So we've already started a lot of our training, which is positive reinforcement based, is building relationships. So she already has a pretty strong relationship with us, even though she's not eating fish yet, just from us interacting with her and doing some of that cuddle time. So she's still, new people are still a little scary. We're slowly introducing new people.
They are amazing creatures. I mean,
they are incredible. Oh wow! Their nickname is the dog of the sea, and we agree with that for sure.
Oh my gosh! Thank you guys.
Very unique personality.
Yeah, I only have one cooler I can use for Crockett right now, but we can do something with Crockett for sure.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, we're all like.
Is there a Tubbs or just Crockett?
No Tubbs. So we have a Crockett and a Sonny.
Sonny, nice.
That was not intentional.
Oh.
What's Tubbs? Is that off of?
That was Miami Vice. There, Crockett and Tubbs were the duo.
Oh, how
but
funny.
Sonny is the name. It was Sonny Crockett. Was Don Johnson's.
Oh,
got it.
Not intentional. Just kind of worked out that way.
All right.
The other one I would have said was Davy Crockett, but I don't think Sea Lion. Davy didn't have much interaction. The frontiersman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually think he is named after that because he's from SeaWorld of San Antonio. So
there you go, the Alamo.
Oh.
Davy Crockett was out. That's where it came from. But then they threw in Sonny, and that's Miami Vice. So
Sonny was named because Sonny is actually the first marine mammal here in Arizona. So we
to be born.
Gotcha.
Marine. Nice sunny Arizona.
There's the Crockett cooler. Oh.
So Crockett is 7 years old. He's our adult male. That's Paris. She likes to steal all of the attention.
Look at that mouth curve.
So handsome.
He is.
They're coming. Makara's coming too. Oh, maybe not. I lied. She stopped.
And so what's the life expectancy on a sea lion?
So a male sea lion out in the ocean, the life expectancy is only about 7.5 years. Here under human care, it's about 23 and a half.
Yeah.
So no
Again, because of the
predators.
predatory factor. That's amazing.
They have medical care. They know where their food is coming from.
Went so hot and then stalled.
Oh. Oh my god. But he's still very young.
Now, who does Crockett like the best out of the three of you?
Me. I'm just kidding. I mean, out of the three of us here, honestly, probably Nicole. I think she's really warmed up to our new boss the most.
And do you think that is a lot with like scent I mean, don't you think animals kind of like pick up the aura or the? I mean, it's interesting. It's got to be something that would separate you. Time obviously would be one, but like even if you take three different people, I guess it's like humans. You kind of gather to the person that.
And sometimes I feel like animals are pretty naturally drawn to certain people.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of times too based on their personal experiences. And I think with Crockett, it's probably the interactions you guys have. And
yeah, and we've had primary and secondary trainers on our sea lions too. So when you have an animal that you're primary or secondary on, you're going to be working with them more as well. So that definitely helps.
And you guys do how many shows a day?
We're going back to 2, I think, weekdays, and then we'll have 3 on the weekends.
And is that, I mean, a lot of that is good because it also is working out the animals, correct? Yeah.
Definitely.
And what's the max that you'll have?
Sea lions?
Yeah.
So we're pretty maxed out right now with our 6.
And you might hear from another zoo or something saying we need a sea lion, and that's the good thing that zoos have really kind of tried to dialed in, right? To circulate the animals rather than going out. Correct. I mean, that started a while back, but I know there's been a lot of heat, obviously, with some of the documentaries that came out, where there's blackfish, and then here, you know, we had the whole fiasco at the what was it, ocean areas? I forget what they call it. The desert one with the dolphins and stuff.
Right.
But it is, I don't know, you come out here and when the facility is right, it's amazing that people can interact and you learn a lot more. I think it does a lot better on the, I mean, you probably see it as far as educating people and the appreciation of the animals out in the wild. It's not like, there's still that perception that zoos are out there collecting animals out in the wild all the time.
Right.
And that's not the case.
There's so many misconceptions when it comes to zoos and animals under human care. And the work that zoos are doing is so important to the survival of so many species. And the under human care breeding programs that are going on are very heavily managed. And like you had mentioned, oftentimes animals will go from one zoo to another, and that increases the genetic diversity, which helps sustain successful breeding programs, especially for these animals that are suffering out in the wild and their numbers are declining. And it's going to be the reason that these animals survive is the breeding programs that we have under human care and the fact that we're able to sustain the species.
So, and sea lions are we're okay on the population with sea lions.
So sea lions, you guys can talk about the conservation status of sea lions.
So sea lions are considered a least concerned species.
Yeah.
So they're doing pretty well out in our oceans, but they are facing more and more challenges as time goes on. Things like plastic pollution in the ocean, domoic acid is something that can cause mass strandings of sea lions. So we really
and where does that come from? The acid?
Yeah, so it's actually produced by a diatom, which is a natural little ocean critter, like a zooplankton. And
that has increased?
It has. So with different temperatures warming, there's been a balloon.
Okay, so that would fall under you loop that into global warming.
Yeah, climate change for sure.
Okay.
Even gunshot wounds are something that sea lions face a lot as they're competing with fishermen. If you want for fish, sometimes they get frustrated and so
they shoo them away. Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that too much about that.
Yeah. Never mind. Unfortunately.
Because the sea lion will hang out there if you're catching fish, just like a pelican and everything else.
So yeah, Crockett, we just weighed him. He's about 372 pounds.
372.
But that's not even fully grown, so...
That's my goal. I want to be as heavy as Crockett.
Why is it not socially acceptable for me to gain weight like they do? Come on over.
And they can go how long without food?
Oh my god. So actually, bulls like Crockett out in the ocean, they'll come up on land and kind of develop that.
Good boy. I'll come over and show you your little belly.
Yeah, we'll see the training action first. Well, we got Crockett out here. Let's.
So like you guys were starting to talk about just like the care of animals and human care. So we train our sea lions to participate voluntarily in a lot of husbandry behaviors or medical behaviors.
Yeah.
Relax your flipper. So we can do things like voluntary eye drops. I don't have a bottle today. We ask them to open their mouths so we can see their teeth and their gums. We're introducing them to toothbrushes. We've been able to do things like voluntary x-rays and ultrasounds with our animals. And Crockett here has actually participated in a voluntary blood draw with us. Yum. So we just ask our sea lions to hold flat like this, and then we can actually come back here and grab their flippers, flatten out their little butts, and then we draw blood from back here in their back flipper. So we just teach them to hang out and relax, love on them, tell them they're doing a good job. We obviously don't try for blood every time, but we just, good job, bud. We build up that relationship over time, and then when we need to, we can try to draw blood. So really cool things to just care for them.
How often do you brush the teeth?
So we haven't done any teeth brushing yet. We're just introducing him to
gotcha.
for the first time. You'll see that some of his teeth have some nice black buildup on there. So they build up that kind of tartar actually helps protect their teeth.
Is it like algae?
No, it's like a tartar, like our teeth would build up.
Yeah.
Obviously, we brush ours off, but it's actually good. It'll keep their teeth a little bit cleaner and healthier. Huh? Isn't that right? Can I get a kiss? Oh, thank you.
So friendly.
Sorry.
I wonder how he do in our neighborhood in Gilbert, out in the green belt with all the dogs.
I'm
sure you fit
He
right
can
in.
cover some ground.
So we've actually we've gotten it approved with our vet before, and part of providing them enrichment every day, we've had staff bring their dogs in and just bring them down here to the front windows just to see how they'll react, and it's always fun to see them be like real curious about like, what is that thing?
I know,
Okay, all done right now.
I forget the term, what it's called, but when you pair a cheetah up with a dog,
Yeah.
a lot of zoos do that. What do they, I forget the term on that.
So
but
Columbus Zoo does that.
Yeah, Columbus Zoo does it with
and it
the-
helps build confidence in the cheetahs. Cheetahs are,
yeah, their anxiety. It helps them with their anxiety. around
and
that.
it helps them because they're a little bit shy.
Well, that was awesome. So the question was, how often, I mean, they could go without food for how long?
Yeah, so bulls, like Crockett out in the ocean, they come out onto beaches that they call rookeries and kind of just develop a harem
Do you
of
want to try to get a
females,
kiss from Crockett?
and then it is their job to kind
Do you
of
wanna try to
protect
get a
their
kiss from him?
females from any other
No?
males.
Brady will.
So they will
Sure.
actually like fast for the better part of breeding season, just so that they can protect their ladies. Because if they leave,
Keep lean and mean.
is gonna come in.
Lean and mean, what do you want me to do?
All right, so come, if you want to come, if you don't mind getting your butt a little bit wet, if you want to come take a seat on this step right over here,
This step right here?
maybe like right here.
Oh, really wet. Okay.
Oh, we have a towel. We can put the towel down.
Look at
Look, she came prepared.
So good.
I mean, I'm wet. I'm wearing Depends, but
Perfect. So we're gonna
yeah.
have Crockett come stand next to you and just give you a kiss on the cheek.
okay.
Crockett, come.
So they like know when to come. And
I feel the thunder
Good
right now.
boy. And I was gonna say you might feel the concrete shake a little. He's a pretty big guy. Okay, Crockett, good boy. Okay, ready? You're gonna give a kiss. Hold.
Aww.
Hold.
You're pretty strong, Crockett.
Okay, stop pushing. Be gently.
That was good.
Kiss. Gentle. Good! That was so gentle.
Atta boy.
That's a good one.
Oh,
Now, why
the
don't you
big
just
gulp.
Say, ow.
Ah.
Good job, buddy.
Holy.
Otter.
You know, I like his smells a little bit better than the
Armadillo.
armadillo.
How does it compare to the otter?
And the otter, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to toss some
Per
fish out?
capita, the otter's got it. Kirby, you can toss a fish.
just only stay slightly smelly for the rest of the day.
I got otter and armadillo on this one right now. Is there a penguin species that is in the water at all? I don't think so.
No,
right?
so they wait until they have their mature feathers, till they go in the water, because then they can stay waterproof. They're born with just down, and they would freeze and be really cold if they went swimming until they had their adult feathers.
And the largest penguin, is that the emperor penguin?
Is it the emperor?
And they, how tall? Almost 4 feet?
Yep, 4 feet.
They're massive.
That's taller than you right now. It's like another foot.
Could you imagine?
No.
Yeah, that is so crazy. These guys are like a little medium-sized penguin. So cute. And this is a monogamous species, but like we were talking about earlier, it doesn't necessarily mean that every penguin species is going to be monogamous for life.
Oh my gosh, he runs straight.
He did. And right to Kristy. Nose.
I'm wearing the baggy
Sugar
jacket
mama.
today. And they're really fast swimmers. They're like little torpedoes in the water. They obviously can't fly. And they have a third eyelid that's
They're
clear.
soft. Now, is the basically the feathers or the fur, is it hollow? Because I know, well, these are warm weather penguins, right? More okay. Because like polar bear, it's not really, it's a reflection of the, isn't the fur like almost clear? But, well, the skin's black on a polar bear.
That's awesome. We don't have polar bears, so I'm not super familiar.
And then a rhinoceros, I remember, like sweats red.
And so rhinos, they actually don't sweat like we do.
Or is it hippopotamus?
Might be a hippo.
Yeah.
They rely on evaporative cooling. So they don't really sweat. They go and roll in the mud and let it evaporate off their skin, and that's how they'll stay cool.
It is the hippo then.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so fun? These guys are really incredible. And we have a very successful African black-footed penguin breeding program. These guys,
they like to get it on here. And that's how they roll in 165 in northern.
Right?
In the 623. Hi. Hi.
And they have a serrated beak.
How big do these ones get?
They're pretty close to being full grown.
They get pretty much full size by 2.5 months.
Come on here.
Sterling, he's one of our 4-year-olds. It's maybe an inch or two taller. He's one of our biggest boys at 7.6 pounds. Mumbo is at a maybe 5.5 pounds right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're so neat.
Yeah, I would play with him definitely, but I'd be teaching him bad habits.
That's one thing we have to be careful.
That's what guys do, is rough house with your dog.
Right, totally. And since they are kind of exploring everything with their mouth right now, we just have to be aware of that.
What's edible and what's not edible?
Look at that, did you hear that too? That's like our cats.
So is
penguin training at its finest.
Yeah.
So they have the boundaries, just like how you don't like sometimes people going into your personal space. They have their personal space, and that's how they let each other know, hey, you're in my personal space, you need to get out.
Because you're giving all the affection. Like,
So some of them are more familiar with, have a good relationship with some of our aquarists than others.
Yeah.
But also, like she was saying, they're still learning how to do everything and what everything is. So.
And us being in here right now is really good for descents for them, because we're new people. It's a different environment.
And I like to see what's edible.
Definitely like to see what's edible. Well, hello.
Look at that guy getting up there.
Hi.
Kirby's coming over to your shiny screen.
So sweet. You'd mostly go. Actually, no, my phone case is shiny.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I won't take up all your time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
It's okay.
Looking.
They have a hooked beak at the end, and so the little serrades will help them get fish down, and so fish don't come back up. But
that was the other thing that was amazing. I don't know what kind, but like a pretty big fish. They can take it all the way down.
And they'll swallow it whole.
Hi, Bob. Hi. Hi. Hi.
They're so cool.
Alice.
Aww.
Hey. This is extra fluff. What is about me? Okay. All right.
Can you move your beak now?
That is extra. That cotton is so soft and chewable, I know.
What do you think you're doing?
So these guys were imported from South Africa, and before they were imported, they had to be protected by armed guards 24 hours a day for months prior to their departure.
Wow.
And with rhinos being one of the most endangered creatures in the world, it's really important to have a breeding program under human care to sustain the species. So getting the new blood over here in the United States in the breeding program is really exciting, and it was a huge accomplishment for not only us but the world of conservation. Yay! Thank you for your help. So what we'll do, go ahead and pull your hand back.
Okay.
And we will, oh, pretty girl. Hey.
Wow, it's soft.
Right, and it's important that we put our hand straight in so we can pull it straight out, that we don't get it caught in between a pull.
Is it similar to a horse, or you show the technique?
Well, what
Flat
you do,
hand?
you just shove it in.
Is that right?
And you, let's try this one right here. Okay. We have to be careful. Sometimes they're establishing a little bit of dominance. There you go. Perfect. And they don't have teeth in the front that we have to worry about. You just get a little
molars,
muddy.
Right?
And they're just a few years old. When they get a little bit bigger, we're going to move our male rhino over here to start that breeding program. Thank you so much for your help.
This one was wet, just having some mud.
And there are 4 white rhinos being poached every single day in South Africa alone. And it's for the ivory, which is made out of the same protein that our
Isn't it like hair?
Made out of. Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. You can kind of see.
Yeah.
And what fingernails are made out of, but it's believed in some Asian cultures to be an aphrodisiac. So if you pet, you want to make sure you just put your hands straight in when they're right up against the fence.
That is a lip and a half.
Right? Very powerful.
I got a little jerky on that one. I can't, that's the first time we in Ohio, they have the wilds.
Yeah.
And my dad set up a thing, and we went by the bus, and the handlers were out by the rhinos. I would assume, I think they were white rhinos as well. Mm-hmm. But it was, we didn't, that's the first time I actually touched a rhino, and it was a lot softer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Let me get better here, partner.
So incredible.
Let me see if I can.
And their skin's several inches thick in some areas. Very powerful.
There we go. That was a better one.
Great sense of smell. And as we saw, their eyesight's not that great.
Yeah. And you can see the pores just. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it was the difference. They're kind of like evap. The way they cool down?
They do.
And do they like to, similar to elephants, put like mud on there? Do they roll in the dust and mud?
They absolutely do that. So we flood out some of the areas. Sometimes they like to play in the water. They'll roll around in the mud, coat themselves in mud, and as the mud and the moisture evaporates off their skin, that's what cools them. And it also serves as a bug repellent and helps keep bugs off them in the wild.
Did you get any, or did I? There you go. Okay. We got you there.
Really amazing animals.
Sound like they're like slurping.
Right?
I remember at the Columbus Zoo, we'd always say, a rhino, if you want to see like a rhino, you put your fist in front of your hand.
That is so funny. So true.
This guy's got some torque here.
And they have really wide lips and a really wide mouth because these guys are grazers. So
wow, that pinch is amazing.
I know, it's so strong. They graze from the ground, where some rhinos have more like prehensile lips that help them grab different shrubs and things from the trees. And their mouths are a little bit more pointed, but not these guys.
Let's get you, let's get, there we go. That was a good one there.
And they say if something isn't done right now to decrease the amount of poaching going on, they could potentially go extinct from the wild within our lifetime.
Gosh, that's amazing. The power and just the solid. Yeah. I could probably do this all day.
I know, it's my favorite area. I mean, I have lots of favorites, but I always like to come out and say hi to the girls.
One last nugget. Firm lips. Oh! Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the third one. And their names are?
Imani, Zuri, and Mashaka, which is trouble, faith, and beauty.
Who's the oldest?
Oh gosh, I am not sure. They were all about 2 to 3 years old when we got them a couple years ago. And I can't remember which one was the oldest. And they're so much bigger now than they were when we got them, but they're still growing. And they're thriving, and a lot of that has to do with the environment we have here in Arizona. It lends itself to African creatures because it's so similar.
Oh, that was a good one there. Oh, they opened up, dumped a bunch. Let's get up there. There we go. Almost.
Aren't they fun?
Oh, it's amazing.
They're so
You
pretty.
think about it like I always visualize, like, oh, if one's charging you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just get out. I mean, they're not like, they're more north-south runners. But you see every now and then in the video of the safari getting brushed back on them.
Yeah.
And they lift that thing right up off the
It's incredible.
2 wheels.
So strong. Such powerful animals. So that's them establishing.
There's a little power right there.
Yeah. And they're 3 females. So right now they're trying to figure out the dominance.
They're bitches. I see what they're so catty sometimes.
They can be so catty.
All right. How about that?
Territorial, kind of.
They can be, absolutely.
Oh.
Did you get a chance to feed?
Oh no.
Do they,
Are you sure?
I don't want to get my hand dirty.
Chris, do they sleep standing or do they settle down like?
Oh, that is a good question.
We'll ask the handler.
Let's go ask them. That is a fantastic question. Because I know giraffes, because they're vulnerable, they will sleep standing or they'll get down just for little naps. But these guys, I'm not sure. Do these guys sleep while standing or do they lay down?
They lay down.
So cute. Oh.
Look at that. We have just finished up an unbelievable tour of the Wildlife World Zoo, Park and Aquarium. And of course, one of the most important things about when you're zooing real hard is you build an appetite. And we've got some food and we've got Brady sauce. So Kristy has never tried the Brady sauce.
I haven't.
And after feeding the rhinos, you kind of get a hankering for some spice, and there are multiple eateries out here. We're at the Safari Grill.
We are.
And then there's, with the aquarium, there's Dylan's Barbecue. So you can do some barbecue sauce over there. Dylan's has their own, and then you can step it up a notch with the Brady sauce. Haha, little jab at Dylan's there. They can, I know those guys, it's pretty delicious stuff. And then there's one other restaurant.
We have Zuberto's over in
Zuberto's,
Adventureland.
that's what it is.
We have the Congo Cooker over by the entrance, and we have the Skyride Cafe. And this is my favorite, the Safari Grill.
This is our fried madness here. So we're gonna try some different sauces on some chicken planks or chicken fingers. We got 2 different versions. We got mozzarella sticks, fries, a chicken wrap, and a barbecue pork sandwich that we're going to step up a notch. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the time. We're going to come out here more often. Kristy has been unbelievable once again. And I've enjoyed seeing a bunch of different animals and smelling like a bunch of different animals. I knew you'd like that, Kirby. All right, we'll see you next time.